if you're a man over, I would say 16 years old, you've probably at least asked yourself once, what am I doing with my life? And I consider myself a pretty purposeful person. Everyone that knows me I think thinks of me as someone who goes out there and gets shit done, has one goal, is striving towards it, is sort of purposeful, right? Is going in this direction no matter what people say, right? And I do think I do that. I do that pretty well. But regardless of that, I get to a point, usually about once a week, sometimes twice, 3 times a week, where I'm lost. And I'm like, the question that I have is, what am I doing with my life? And I think the answer to the question is always, what is my purpose? I think the question of what am I doing with my life is always related to what is my purpose. And, that is something that a lot of people overlook. I'm currently in the Netherlands with a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, and he's pretty successful for his age, definitely much above average. But still now, he's also 1 year older than me. And he's just struggling right now with understanding what directions to take, because he's doing fine, but he doesn't have that sort of drive or purpose really that is giving him that push to go to the next level. And so he asked me, like, we were just having a conversation, right? It wasn't like I was teaching him anything. We were just having a conversation, and we kind of agreed on this thing that we've read dozens of books on all self-improvement, from reality transurfing to books of Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza, to books about women. Like lately I've read Models and the Way of the Superior Man. We've read the book of Billionaires, Ravikant, or Naval, or we've also read books of Elon Musk. Like, we've read them all almost. And there's this one recurring theme about finding your purpose. Also the book Mastery from Robert Greene. It's just finding your purpose. And they say once you find that purpose, everything becomes easier. Now, I think that is one of the hardest things to do, and it's also one of the things that I've done the best in my life. So this is why I'm doing this video. But how do you find your purpose? So at the beginning, I'm not gonna come here and give you a blueprint on how everyone can find their purpose, because I don't fucking know. I'm 20 years old. I'm figuring it out myself. As I said, every Wednesday, I get to a point where I'm at the office at 11 p.m. at night after a whole day of bullshit, and I'm like, what am I doing with my life? This feels like wasted potential. What am I doing here? Okay, so I'm not coming here from a place of, oh, I'm a teacher, I'm this. No, I'm just telling you my experience. So how did I get to a point where I picked a direction for my life and I thought, okay, this is my purpose, this is what I should do now. And every time I get to a point where it's, what should I do, what am I doing with my life, I can get reminded of that. So first of all, I want to start from pre-framing this in a way where the way I'm thinking it right now, after all these years, and this changes a lot. So maybe in 2 years I'll post another video about this and it's going to be completely different. But right now, the way I see it is that every man has a very similar purpose. So at the end of the day, every human being, I would almost say, because I usually stick to men because I'm a man and I don't really know what women do or feel. But I would say almost I could generalize this in terms of human beings. At the end of the day, each human being, its purpose is to reach its full potential and have the highest level of positive impact on this world through its unique abilities, skills, and talents. I just came up with that, right? That is what I'm thinking right now. I haven't written it down before, but I really think that's sort of how it is. So for me, I'm trying to be, and every person that I have around me that I consider a purposeful person, and every person that maybe that you think, oh, this person knows his purpose and is going after it. Each one of these individuals wants to become the best version of himself. That is sort of what I've seen. I want to become the best version of myself. It's the reason why I started also this channel. I want to improve in every area of life, every single area of them. Now, that is sort of for every single human. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if your purpose is to be a Formula One driver, to be a copywriter, a marketer, to be a, anything. At the end of the day, your purpose, regardless of what exactly you pick, is going to be, in my opinion, to have the highest impact possible on this planet, positive impact, because you can also have a very negative impact. So think about how you can have the highest possible impact on this world, leveraging your natural talents, gifts, and abilities. Because every single one of us is gifted. I don't care how short, ugly, or untalented you think you are, you have unique abilities that others don't. Okay? You do. Everybody does. And there's not a single person I've met that doesn't have something unique that I look at and I'm like, wow, okay, that is interesting. Okay? Is this rain? Yeah, it's raining hard outside. Damn. That's insane. All right. But the point is, starting from this sort of perspective, this is too broad of a thought to even conceptualize. You cannot even think, you cannot start asking yourself, how can I have the highest impact on this world? Because who the fuck knows? You don't know, I don't know, right? It's just such a broad question. Impact also, impact on this world. That is going to be the result of you following your purpose, of finding that purpose and working towards it. But that is not where you start. You cannot start there, otherwise you're gonna get in that mental loop of what am I doing? Okay, what to do? You can stay stuck in that place of I don't know what to do with my life. So finding your purpose, the way I've done it, and that is really what a lot of these books say, especially Robert Greene. I don't know if it's pronounced Green or Green. Is the author of the laws of Power, the 58 laws or 48 laws of power, Mastery, books like that. Very in-depth books, and the way he says it, I really like it. It's think of what you like to do when you were a kid. And I feel like I've got so lucky in that sense, because when I was deciding what to do in terms of, because at the end of the day, every man, it all starts in stage one, which is I need to make enough money to get independent. And that is what it was for me. For me, it was, I don't feel like where everybody's trying to push me, university, a job, I don't feel like that's my purpose. I don't feel like that does not really feel good to me. So I need to find another way. And the only way to get in a position where I could then decide what to do with my life was to start making some money. And for me, that was online. So when I was deciding and testing how was I gonna go about making money online, there were so many business models when I started. It was 2 to 3 years ago. Not much has changed since then, but if you're gonna watch this video in 10 years, a lot probably has changed. So at the time, I had some options like drop shipping, some affiliate marketing. I could have done sales, so become very good at. I had to learn how to speak English much better than I could speak English at the time, and then get into sales. So that wasn't really an option for me, because already now my English isn't perfect, but at the time it was even worse. So I had multiple options, and what I decided to go with was copywriting. So copywriting is the art of selling through words. So you might write a script for an email, you might write a script for an ad, an advertising campaign, or a sales letter, and the copy of a landing page, the headline, stories on Instagram, whatever. You're a copywriter when you are able to write in a way that persuades people into taking an action. So I got just into that, but I didn't really think about it too much. I was like, okay, this sounds cool. It sounds like something I can do. Let me look into it. Now, that has been literally the reason why I'm here where I am today. And I'm nowhere. I'm nowhere close to my potential, nowhere close where I envision myself. But the only reason I was able to be even in this situation where I can, I have enough money to have a roof over my head, a computer, a laptop, a business that makes me happy, enough money to eat, and a camera to record. Okay, this is the point I'm at. The way I got there from zero, because I started from zero, literally zero, was through copywriting. So I started as a copywriter, and then I slowly advanced. I learned more, experienced more, took more action, learned more, experienced more, took more action, tried different things, all in that sort of bubble. And I now am in a place where after learning how to write ads and do it well for my clients through copywriting, I decided to start my own agency. And now I have my own business. And I do that for myself and for other clients. But in that, I don't get paid from them as a freelancer. I get paid as a business owner. So I charge much more. Okay, and I make much more money. But it all started with copywriting and it's still evolving, right? But so what can you say now? Can I say that my purpose is right having a marketing agency? No. I cannot say that. That's what I struggle with every Wednesday. I say Wednesday because it's the middle of the week and it's like, fuck man, it's the middle of the week. But can I then say, oh, your purpose is to be a copywriter? Your purpose? No, bro, that is so diminutive and so diminishing. That's the right term. So that's so diminishing of what I can actually accomplish, of what I can be, of my full potential. A copywriter? No, I'm just gonna be myself, but a version that I can't even fathom right now. But it starts as a copywriter. Now, why is this interesting to me? When I thought about it and I was speaking about it with my friend and I compared it to what the books say. The books say, think about what you liked to do when you were a kid. What would make your eyes spark? What would you do most of the time? What would you be happy doing? So for me, those were two things. I was, actually, let me tell you a multitude of things. I was very good at sports. Okay, so I was very competitive in sports. I was a leader, but not a perfect leader. I was the kind of leader in class that there's a project, I don't even care what you're saying, my idea was better. Low key, my idea was better than anyone else. My project would have then performed better than anyone else. The idea behind it, sort of, imagine right now for me that's creating a marketing campaign, at the time was creating a project. So the idea behind it, the angle, how to attach it. But I wasn't a good delegator. I wasn't good at trusting others. And maybe that's because I wasn't surrounded by A players, and people, and not A players, just people who had different purposes or different points. Like, I don't want to polarize saying this is good, this is bad, this is a good person, good purpose, bad purpose. No, they just simply, I feel like at the time, and I still think it, they weren't as talented as me in taking a project in hand, strategizing, and then taking action towards it. That's what I think. That's what I was very good since literally elementary school. So I'm talking 6 to 7 years old. 6 to 7 years old, that's what I was doing. Other thing that I was very good at. I don't know if there's many others. I would definitely say I was a very quick learner. I was very quick at picking up stuff. So I would pick up things very quickly. But I don't think that's a talent or anything. But there's one thing that I want to look back. I kind of reverse engineered it. Because I'm in a place where I've already kind of done a lot in life already. I'm not really starting. I was starting 3 years ago. I'm already 3 years in. And I'm like, wow, it's so funny to look at, in hindsight, I literally went with something that I was very good at and passionate when I was very, very young. So let me tell you this story. When I was very, very young, and if anyone from my family is watching this, most likely not, but the only people who could say this is my mom. My mom would be the only one who can prove this. But when I was very young, I would just go to my dad. My dad would have this laptop, right? A big ass laptop, because it was fucking 2010, and who had the computers? Like, there weren't like MacBooks like we have today, or this good. And we had a big ass computer. You couldn't do shit. It was slow as hell, and they couldn't really do anything. And if I went online, there would have been viruses. So I wasn't even allowed to go online on this laptop. But I would just go to him and I would ask him, and this started from the age of 4, and I would say it kept going until the age of 7 to 8, even 10, 11. I would just go to him before I had an iPad, or before I had a phone, right? I would go to him and I would ask him, hey, can I use the computer? And he would say, yeah, you can use the computer. And I would just enjoy having this piece of machinery. I would go on Word, so Microsoft Word, where you can type, it's today's equivalent of Google Docs. I would go there and I would just write stories. I would just write stories. I would just stay there for an hour in my room, fucking typing on this thing, at 6, 7, 8 years old, and I would just create. I would create a story. I would create something, okay? other way it would be, if I wasn't doing that, I was creating a painting on Paint. Okay, so Microsoft Paint, where you can just create something. So I would have my mouse and I would draw something. And you know, it's just, when I look back at it, it's like, wow, I liked to write stories when I was 6 years old, 7 years old. No, I wasn't thinking about getting paid. I wasn't thinking about making money. I was just doing what I enjoy doing in my free time. As a very non-sophisticated individual who doesn't really compare himself to others, like almost the purest I've ever been, and I was doing that. And it's so funny to look how, in hindsight, now, it all starts with what I like to do. I now have an agency, I would say a lead generation company at this point, where I am the leader. I have a co-founder of this company, all right, but I still take that. I have the position that I would have in any project, okay? I have that position of strategic leader where I take decisions. I also have mastered, or I take this role of writer. So I write ads and all the copy around our company and our clients. I understand an angle for a campaign. I create the creatives. The same way I was creating a drawing in Paint, I'm now creating creatives, ad creatives for Facebook and Instagram for my clients. And the copy, everything aligns with what I like to do as a kid. Now the only thing that's missing is being an athlete. But I think that from there I take the competitiveness that I can put into business and be competitive, be ferocious, and be proactive, offense. I can take that from sports and apply it to business. For example, I was very fast. I've always been the fastest in my class, when I was a kid at least. And I can take that speed and apply it to business. So in some way, when every Wednesday I get there, it's 11:30 p.m., I'm at my office, and by the way, now it's 11 p.m. now. But I get to my office, I'm there. Today I just wrote some ads, they're not performing, or I'm writing this email. It feels like why would I even, these little things that maybe don't give a huge impact at first. And I'm like, what am I even doing with my life? Like, there's Elon Musk is going to Mars. Cristiano Ronaldo is doing this, and there's these guys are multi-million billionaire, whatever, at such a young age, and I'm here in the Netherlands in this little office in front of my screen, no wife, a couple friends. I don't really spend time with my family because I'm always around, I'm always out, and I'm working so hard that I can't even really keep relationships that much, and this and that. And I'm like, what am I doing with my life? But then I zoom out, and I'm like, I'm doing what I enjoy doing as a kid. I'm following my purpose. I'm getting better at what I was talented already at birth. I'm getting better, a better person, and I'm doing it in a smart way because I'm following, a direction. I'm following the direction of what was I good at? What did I enjoy before money was even a thing? So I'm not doing that. I'm not lost. I'm not lost because I am going in a direction that I'm very aware of. I know why I'm going that direction. I know why that is what I'm doing. Now, here's the thing. Am I gonna come here again? I already said it before, but does this mean that my purpose is writing ads and having a company? No. Robert Greene as well, in his book Mastery, talks about how when you at least use your purpose as a direction, don't think of that as the final destination, because nobody knows the final destination. I might become president of the whatever and use these skills to have a huge impact on billions of people. You don't know. The point is, and I don't know either, but the point is, use your purpose as a direction. So how can you align your life to your purpose? Understand, lock yourself in a room and think deeply about what you enjoyed doing as a kid. What have you always been talented at? What always came easy to you? What were you always the best at? What is that thing? Okay? Have you always been the best athlete ever? Okay? Now, this doesn't mean you need to go to the Olympics, but it can mean that you then break down the qualities of a great athlete. You find a career or something that involves physical activity. For example, I have a friend, one of my best friends. He's never really been the brightest one at school. I would not say he's not smart, not at all. But I will say he's definitely not been. He never really even applied himself to school, and he's never really, really focused on it, and he never had good grades. But he was a machine in terms of mentally. So when you put him out in the field, when you go on a run, you want that guy. He's gonna push you. He's not gonna stop. When you think of someone who always trains, he's the one who never skips. He's the kind of guy he's always been since ever, like a very low-key guy, meaning he doesn't go out and talk shit, or he's not very sociable. He's not really, the main character at the party. No, he's very low-key. He gets his thing done. Nobody knows it, but he wears normal, and below he has a fucking great physique, and he doesn't talk about it with anyone. He just does his thing, right? And so now, applying the same mindset, now he's finding himself in the military. He's in the military, he's doing great, and he's happy, right? And I look back and I'm like, wow, so I'm not saying he's gonna be in the military forever, but when I look back, I zoom out, he's been one of my closest friends since we were 6, 7 years old. I zoom out and I'm like, no wonder he ended up in the military. No wonder he's liking the military. Okay, so it's not rocket science. It just takes some thought, and I'm happy he did that thinking and got there. I'm happy I did the thinking I did and I got there almost luckily, because I didn't think about that when I decided to go as a copywriter. But in hindsight, this can help you really pick a direction for your life that will make you happy. Although happiness is not an end goal in life, as a man at least, you really want to be the best version of yourself. That's where your happiness comes from. And to get there, there's a lot of pain and bullshit to go through. But the point I'm trying to make, I guess, is you can find a life with a lot of discipline. You can build yourself. And that is what I want to tell myself, and I always tell myself. And right now I'm thinking, I truly believe this. I can build myself a life where I work hard. I really do work hard. I take massive action every single day. But at the same time, I take it in the right direction, in a direction that when I get home at night, I'm like, today was tough. Today I took a lot of action. Today I did a lot, and it wasn't in vain. It's because I'm following my purpose, and at the end of the day, I'm getting better at it. And there's a reason I'm going through this, and there's a reason I'm doing this. And every day I wake up, and there's a reason I'm doing it. It's not just because I want to be a billionaire. It's not because I want to drive that car. No, it's because of something much deeper that we discussed at the beginning of this video, which is it's because I want to be the best version of myself. And me, myself, although I truly believe I can achieve anything in this world, because I'm 20 years old, I'm fucking a monster, and I can do anything I want. I can do anything I want. You tell me I want to go to the NBA, I'm going to go to the NBA. But those are always going to be prefabricated thoughts, like we create them on the moment. If we instead take that action, the massive action, and put it towards our purpose, the thing that we enjoyed doing as a kid, the thing that, there's in Reality Transurfing, one of the greatest books I've ever read, mind-blowing. He says, what would make every day of your life feel like a vacation? Think about it. What would make every single day of your life feel like a vacation? Now, am I saying that my friend in the military every day feels like he's in a vacation? I don't think so. But I think that when he goes out there on the field and he gets his shit done, whatever training he has to do, whatever thing he has to do, and he comes home at night, sometimes not even home, in a tent, and he goes to sleep, I think that at that point he's happy. Because he took action and he put it towards a purpose. That is why I'm happy. That is why I get home at night and I can be happy with myself if I took the action. And I know the action won't be in vain because it's going towards my purpose, towards something very specific. So I just also want to give another tip on how you can go about navigating your purpose and how to sort of advance in it. Because I'm advancing right now. I'm going from copywriter, freelancer, YouTuber, agency owner, company owner, CEO, and I'm gonna move forward. I'm gonna become a husband, then I'm gonna become, a father. I'm gonna become a partner of a huge corporation. I don't even know, but I know I'm advancing. Okay, I'm gonna keep on advancing. And what are some indicators or some strategies that I use to understand if I'm moving in the right direction and how to move in the direction? A lot of times it sounds weird, but it's really just about shutting down your mind, your brain, and listening to your heart. It's something, mind and heart connection is something that is talked deeply in Reality Transurfing, the book, and it's really something that when I look back has moved me in the right direction. Now we could go into a very deep rabbit hole of what it is, the information field, how your art has access to, and heart and subconscious have access to much more information that your brain does, that your conscious mind does. So if you listen to that, we can go into some very deep and honestly not even proven to be real stuff. Okay, but the point of the point is, when I listened to my heart, I took the best decisions and I moved towards my purpose. So the first time I really, really listened to my heart was when I decided not to go to university. And I decided to instead go into copywriting or getting into some online marketing or online business. Okay, that was the first time I really, really listened to my heart. I shut down my brain, I shut down everything. I'm like, what do I really want to do? That, boom. Second time I listened to my heart, becoming a soccer player. I've always been a very good soccer player, very good, decent. I can play at competitive level, I would say. But I've never really put that much effort into it, or as much as I could have. Why? Because when I shut down my mind and I'm like, okay, let's say people don't exist. People in my hometown don't know that I'm good at it. Let's say that nobody knows I'm good at soccer. Nobody that I know will ever see me play soccer. Nobody that I know will ever see me play soccer. Do I want to put that time and effort? Will I still go to practice every day? Will I still do that? And the answer was no. Okay? It's not a rational answer. It's more like I ask myself the question, then shut down the brain, and what do I feel? I felt like not. That was not the thing. Boom. Okay? I listened to my heart. Soccer is not an option. I'm not gonna play soccer. Another time I used, maybe this was probably the most impactful one so far, when I decided to go to Thailand alone at 18 years old. This was now 2 years ago almost. It was the 28th of August. Now is the 4th of August, 2 years ago. And, I just asked myself, I just felt, I watched this YouTube video, I felt it in my heart, I asked myself, what do I want to do? And I was like, Thailand. Like my heart could just whisper one thing, Thailand, Thailand, Thailand. And boom, I fucking went to Thailand. So it's important that you listen to your heart, but then also do whatever it says, right? So I went to Thailand. Now, in about a month ago, I would say now, we were like deciding sort of what to do next with our life, again, me and my friends, and we were like, where are we gonna go next? Where are we gonna go next? And Australia came up. And in my heart, I felt Australia is the place to be. Australia is the place to go. I have great feeling about it. I don't know why. I don't necessarily prefer it to the US or I just have a great feeling about it. Let's go to Australia. 2 days later, we basically already got it all done. We've got the Airbnb. Now we got the tickets, the visa. We're going to fucking Australia. Okay? But was it a rational decision? No. It came from my heart. But all of these decisions that I just mentioned, and Australia is going to be one of them. Oh, trust me. Australia will be one of them. And it doesn't have to be business related only. It can be that I go there and find a wife. It can be there that, I don't know, I find another business partner. I get into this other thing. I don't know what it is. But I have a good feeling about Australia. So every time I listen to my heart in these situations, I've always progressed so much in my life and in the direction of my purpose. So I feel like a very good way and system to after you understand sort of what you were good at and get a general direction of your life, a very good way to stay on track is to listen to your heart. So same thing happened when I came here to the Netherlands. I could have decided between going back to Italy, which would have saved me a lot more money and would have been probably a rational decision based on my situation with the business, or I could have listened to my heart and be like, you know what, I want to go to the Netherlands. And I went to the Netherlands, and it turned out to be a great decision, right? But that's not a rational decision. So don't think your purpose has to be something rational. Don't make it all about money. Don't make it all about other people. Make it about yourself. Ask yourself, what do you want to do? What do you like to do? Zoom out. Don't think that there's nobody else out there. And then ask yourself, would I like to do that if none of this mattered? And listen to your heart. What does your heart say? Does it say yes? Does it say no? If it says yes, it's going to be a very clear yes. It's going to be a very clear yes. If it says meh, because with me, with soccer, it's never been a, no, you're never going to play soccer. It's always been a, nah, I could, I don't know. If it's like that, it's always a no. Always take it as a no. But when it's a yes, it's a clear yes. That is what I've learned, and I just wanted to share a little bit of this knowledge or experience that I gained over the past 3 years now. So yeah, appreciate you for watching this video. Hopefully it wasn't too boring, and see you in the next one. Bye.